Oh no, not this noise again. I'm still not over the PTSD from this noise. Someone about to die. A few days had passed since Ulrik taught me how to shoot. But I'm in the bank. I continued to do my job of accompanying Elkcreed. Why would you give me the death clock and then switch from that? Game? It's odd. Elkcreed hadn't been attacked even once in the time I'd been his bodyguard. That is odd, considering how things went on his route. Not even once. I'm happy things are peaceful, but if Elkcreed wasn't going to be attacked, then it also meant he wasn't in danger. Society here was much more peaceful than it was in the Sanctuary District. My job was protecting him. If I didn't have to draw my sword, then why was I employed? It makes me worry whether this will last. It's time to go home. I've done enough for the day. But one thing comes first. Elkcreed turned his chair towards me. Yes? What are you worried about today? What? Why are you asking that? It's a pity. I always look at you trying to understand what's in your heart, but your mind is elsewhere. Elkcreed stood up and walked towards me. I'm right here with you. Who are you thinking of instead of me? Who? Don't evade me. Nobody thinks about you as much as I do. I don't want you to think about other men. Elkcreed, did you eat something spoiled? No, I'm acting like they do in the novels that are popular lately. Apparently, a slightly pushy attitude is popular with the ladies. Oh gosh, please. Very studious, aren't you? Oh, did my seduction fail to impress you? Okay, enough jokes. You really do look like you're worried. I'd like to talk with you about it if you would. He sat down again and waited for me to speak. This part of you I like. You don't have to be the pushy guy, thank you. I wonder if he can help me if I talk about it. It certainly didn't seem like I would be able to find a solution myself. I cleared my throat and began, unsure how I was going to phrase it. Ahem. You hired me as your guard, but so far my sword hasn't been useful to you even once. All I do is spend time with you. If that's all I do for you, then I wonder whether I'm really needed. Whether I should really be doing this. I see. Do you want me to die? What? Of course not! Then you want me injured? Embroiled in some public disturbance? No, not at all. Really? Then your worries are unnecessary. I suppose it's natural to worry if one cannot show their skill, but think of it with pride instead. There is nothing better than not requiring your intervention. Worry not, Cyrus.
Yeah, you think about stuff way too much. Don't do that. You really oughtn't.
Oughtn't? Oughtn't? You gonna come at me today, and I'm saying good morning, and just start with oughtn't? Right? Ulrik.
Oh, here's my report. I also collected some debt for you. Great, right?
Yes, you're a good boy. Thank you very much, Ulrik. Do you want tea?
No, I'm busy.
The three of us could talk about something silly.
I said I'm busy, idiot.
Then I will be gone for a moment and leave you alone with her here.
What? Alone?
You want me to teach you what two people can do alone?
Alright, I'll tell you. I play music to make sure that my conversations aren't overheard below. As long as you don't scream, they won't be the wiser. The music can drown out moaning as well.
Elkreed? Elkreed went on without delay.
If you make out, you should do so further in the back where you can't be seen from below. You can do whatever you want over there. I suppose you could also hide under the table. That might also be quite stimulating.
You love talking, don't you? Did you crawl out of your mother's mouth?
I have no memories of the event, but I suspect not. I believe I was born from further down, like everyone.
I didn't mean it like that. I don't want to be alone with her. I don't care about it.
Ulrik glared at me. This isn't my fault. Don't glare at me. What is it?
Just so you know, there's nothing between you and me. I don't much care for you, okay? Bye.
Wow, uncalled for. Ulrik walked to Elkreed's table and jumped down towards the floor below. Gotta make a hasty escape. Be careful! I tried to hold him back, but I was far too slow. I leaned over the railing and saw him land as softly as a cat. Ha 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 ha! He laughed proudly at the startled bank employees and left out the front. That's so reckless.
He's very acrobatic. I admire it.
Don't you indulge his antics a little much, Elkreed?
And because of it he's rude to me. I don't mind. Free spirits must be given freedom. Trying to control them only leads them to rebel.
There is such a thing as too much freedom.
I suppose. It doesn't seem like he is warming up to you. I'm sorry that his shy nature inconveniences you.
It's not a matter of shyness, I think. I can't blame him for being cautious. It's only been a few days since I arrived. Has it only been a few days? Good grief. Good gravy. In fact, I feel it's uncommon to show as much trust as you do, Elkreed.
I see. I have my own view on that. It's a lot more fun to trust rather than distrust, and to be deceived rather than to deceive.
To be deceived is more fun? I would like you to be a little more aware of your position and responsibility.
A little is enough. Just kidding.
Come on, Elkreed. Elkreed was such a free spirit that he was disconnected from reality. However, his ability to be detached and calm also makes him suited to being a leader. I pondered that on our way home. There are always a lot of people around this time of the day.
Yes. This would be an excellent opportunity to assassinate me.
I know. I will double my attention. I scanned our surroundings, then approached him.
The distance you're at right now is neither here nor there. Why not come a little closer, like so?
He wrapped his arm around my waist. I am useless at this position, sir. Elkreed!
I've worked too hard lately. Now my soul is in need of healing.
Did you drink alcohol while I wasn't looking?
Of course not. But I am in the mood for drinking a little. Shall we eat dinner over there? You always turn down the evening drink with me. It makes me so sad. But today you will drink with me, won't you?
All right, but don't drink too much.
Got it.
I just want to date your second in command, sir. Can you stop taking me out to restaurants? Stop dating me. I'm trying to date someone else. Grief.
Good evening. Do you have an empty table?
Master! We have an empty table over there. Please. This establishment is crowded today.
Every day. And this hour of the day is crowded everywhere else, too.
I see. We don't know what might happen. I have to be alert.
My knight, you are so diligent.
Elkcreed laughed and told the waitress to bring whatever food she liked. That was his order the last time we came here, too. Do you have no preferences, Elkcreed?
Well, I prefer women if I get the choice.
I'm not talking about the sexes.
Oh, apologies. Generally, I have few preferences, but there are many things I don't eat.
Such as?
That's my little secret. People are more attractive if they're mysterious.
I doubt that one's preference for food adds or detracts from attractiveness. Ulrik seems like the type to be a picky eater.
Yes. His diet is incredibly unbalanced and surely unhealthy. I threatened him with educational force feeding, but it hasn't worked.
Educational? When I talked to him the other day, he said you've known each other since your parents' time. You're even close enough to say something about the other's diet.
Yes. There are still many things I don't know about him. He likes to keep secrets.
Many?
Yes. He has a large network of contacts and knows much about what's going on behind the scenes. That's more or less all I know.
And he hides that even from you, huh? How rude. I mean, we want our girl to start thinking of him as attractive, so... this is kind of more towards Eld, I think. This is starting to get our girl thinking about Ulrik as being attractive, maybe? Eh? Yeah! How are we doing with you, by the way? Oh, very good indeed. Alright. For a few days, we haven't done too badly. If we follow your theory, does that make him more attractive too?
Yes, absolutely. Very well done. You're learning fast. He doesn't want to talk about it, and I don't ask. Trying to press it out of him would only endanger our friendship. I don't want that. I do what I like, and so does he. That's our friendship.
He drank from the wine he had ordered.
Anyway, I don't worry about the secrets Ulrik may have. We aren't family. If it isn't uncomfortable, secrets don't matter. I have secrets I keep from you, my personal bodyguard as well. Such as my proficiency in bed.
Bed? You mean like a sleeping position? Is that really worthy of being a secret? Do you sleep that well at night?
Oh, no, I meant...
What did you mean, then?
That kind of serious curiosity breaks the mood. It even makes me a little embarrassed.
Elkcreed finished his wine and laughed bashfully. Uh-huh. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir. What Elkcreed considered drinking a little lasted a surprisingly long time. Can't believe I gotta drag his drunk butt back home yet again. It was past midnight before we made it back to the mansion. We have work tomorrow. Perhaps I should have put my foot down. On the other hand, I told myself as I opened the door, Elkcreed wasn't dead drunk. Get him some water.
You guys eat out?
Ulrik was sitting alone on the sofa.
Oh, you're here.
Yes, I was waiting for you.
He stood up and looked at me and Elkcreed in turn.
You seem to have had your fun. Not that I mind. Here.
Ulrik took a bag from the table nearby and tossed it towards Elkcreed. He caught it without showing a hint of surprise and looked inside.
Oh my! If this isn't a dress, a tiara, and glass shoes. Ideal clothes for a princess.
What? Like hell that's in the bag. That's...
Oh yes, now I can see it. A bloody severed head.
What the heck, man? Ulrik?
Don't look at me like that. It's not some princess's clothes, nor a head. Collateral! Collateral! Your clients!
Ah yes, now I see. Good work, Ulrik.
You saw that before as well, and we both know it. Man. You've got it now. Bye.
Did Ulrik wait here just to give it to you? I couldn't have known that, but I do feel bad about making him wait. I was looking out the door when Ulrik put his hand on my shoulder.
That reminds me.
Yes? Wait, don't fade to black. Don't fade to black ominously like that. Game? Suddenly I have free time. I recalled what Ulrik had told me earlier and closed the door. Well, please fill me in, because I missed it. Apparently, he was going to go to the Sanctuary District, and my protection was unnecessary. I think that's precisely when he needs it, but maybe he's taking someone else. What shall I do tomorrow, then? I wonder how Ulrik occupies himself at times like this. You're thinking about that boy an awful lot lately, you know. I unbuckled my sword, wondering why his name had popped into my head. Okay, I'm glad you're aware. Worrying won't change anything. I wish I'd known that he'd been waiting there for Ulrik. Then I would have implored Ulrik to return home. It had been Ulrik who had suggested eating out. Still, I felt guilty for having made Ulrik wait alone in that large room. If I had told him that directly, he would surely have gotten mad at me for sympathizing. Still, I wanted to make it up to him somehow. I hope I get to see him tomorrow. I thought about what I could do for him as I got from bed. Or got into bed. Got from bed? Yes. Alright, Ulrik. What's going on in your head these days? Alright. Jealousy maybe over his friend? It's a possibility.
What the hell was that? I waited for ages. I was alone with the sound of my own footsteps on the streets. It was long past midnight and closer to sunrise. Still, my heart found no rest. I was irritated. Elt himself had ordered me to collect the collateral. He must have known I'd wait for him. I didn't have a problem with him eating out, but he should have talked to me. I'm good at waiting, but it pisses me off anyway. Everything is her fault. Ever since his precious knight had arrived, his thoughts had orbited only her. Which was fine. Elt was free to love whoever he wanted, even the stupid pavement. Even when she's not in the room, he just talks about her. That irritated me every time. I didn't understand why he kept on talking about her. I don't care about her. I got used to her, that's all. And she better appreciate it. But that's all. I think Elt wants me to be friends with her, but that's not going to happen. I don't care about her. It's better to have fewer people you trust. That way they can't betray you. If she disappeared, I wouldn't shed a tear. Knowledge was eternal, but humans were not. One day, death arrived, then rot. Eventually, nothing remained. It's really sad if someone close to you dies. So I don't want that. Hey, so here you are. Ah! I jumped at the voice and spun around.
You again, eh? Oh, we got a name finally, Grand.
Oh, it's just you, Vice. Just me? That hurts. You were late, so I started heading in your direction. He narrowed his mismatched eyes.
It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, how do I say your last name?
Vaiscaviso. My acquaintance with him is complicated. Meeting and talking to him was never normal. I doubted that Alt knew about him either. We didn't set a time when we'd meet, right? I told you I didn't want to get together out in public. Why is it so hard to, not talk to me? In public? There's nobody here. Come on. The others are waiting. Fine. Vice disappeared with swift steps into an alley engulfed in impenetrable darkness. I glanced back in the direction of Elt's mansion and then followed.
What are you up to with those guys? Whoa. Huh, okay, Hound's music. Like, he's dressed in the garb of the rival faction. I can't remember what they're called. The name escapes me right now. Also, who is this elf boy in the back? His hair is amazing.
Glory to Rafala! A group of men shouted back the same. Glory my ass. We were at the meeting place of a group called Rafala. We met every so often and had pointless discussions. The group had some sort of lofty goals, but they never followed through, and I wasn't interested in it either. A glass of the mighty fairy! Vice came up to me in high spirits, spear in hand, and sat down. Come on, man, cheer up. You gotta look the part of the founder. I always look like this. I looked away and tried to drink from my glass of apple juice.
He's having a beer and he got you an apple juice. Amazing.
You a little boy or what? Drink this. Vice began to pour beer onto my apple juice. Hey, can you stop that? I told you that I don't drink. Sometimes you should, you know. No way. Alcohol makes the brain slower. At least laugh some. Everyone here looks up to you. Right, guys? The men cheered. Me? Or my ancestors?
Your ancestors? Go on. Oh man, things are getting interesting.
The whole thing went back to the time the depths were flooded.
Are you oh dang, we're actually gonna see pre-flood? Amazing. Amazing. Yes, please.
In that distant past, the fairy family saved many from drowning and built up the manufacturing industry, contributing greatly to the city's growth. Their technological prowess had been brilliant. For example, they built up the electrical grid and laid the groundwork for streetlights. But the greatest invention of the fairy family was guns. The history books claim that the Valentine family developed them.
Interesting.
It was true that they had provided the funds and the facilities, but all the knowledge had been the fairy family's. Their invention had swept away the Age of Swords, ushering in a brave new world where anybody could kill anyone. Hardly anyone knows that outside the Valentine and fairy families. But Vice does. I remember how much that startled me when we met. Back then, the city hadn't been called Liberalitas. An organization called Verator had governed the district, and I had worked for them. My job had mostly been theft and intelligence work. I never had to kill anybody, but it was still dirty business. Still, I had to do it to survive. I ignored my conscience and did what I had to. Then, when I'd been 12, I met Vice. I don't want to be in charge of other people.
New people try to join Verator all the time. Normally, others were in charge of training them. But for once, I had been chosen.
I hardly ever have people to teach. I don't like doing it either. I'd rather go stealing 100 times than get one guy to train.
I was still fuming when I heard footsteps behind me.
These footsteps. Wearing boots. A man. A young man. And a poor one.
He looked exactly the same back then. 6 years ago. I turned around and saw a man standing in front of me. He was really tall. His eyes were striking, being of different colors, and he stared down on me.
You're Vice. I'm...
Ulrik Fairy!
Yeah.
His loud voice startled me, and I nodded meekly.
I'm Vice. Vice Gavison. Nice to meet you, Ulrik.
Yeah. You too.
I held my hand out and we shook nervously. He was grinning at me, but his grip was very firm.
The hell's wrong with him acting like he knows me?
Whoa, I can't believe I know a fairy now.
Did I become famous while I wasn't looking? Intel work is much easier when you can hide, to be honest.
Maybe the others don't know you, but you're famous to me. The fairies are heroes to me.
Heroes?
Yeah. Most of the machines in the city were developed using the knowledge and skill of the fairy family. This too.
Vice unholstered his gun and showed it to me proudly.
The patent is in the Valentine's name, but they didn't make it. It was your people.
Well, yeah. But I didn't think anybody knew that. Why do you?
My family's been in weapons retail for ages. One day, the Valentines show up, saying they have a new weapon. And this is what they sell us.
Vice handed the pistol to me, then pointed out a part of it with engraved letters.
Fairy!
This was a prototype, which the engineer engraved their name into. The Gavisels couldn't bring themselves to sell it, and they upgraded it over generations. That's how I know the truth, man. The invention of guns was a big deal. Without your folks, we'd all be in a totally different city. We've got this nice city because of the fairies.
Because of the fairies. There was hardly anybody who'd ever even heard of my family. Getting a rundown of my family history from a stranger bewildered me.
No, I can't trust this guy either.
The people working for Verator were largely crooks. They showed no qualms about hurting others.
I won't trust anybody. Besides, this guy is suspicious.
Vice went on, unfazed by my glare.
You know, I was thinking, if I make it real big here and become the boss, I'm gonna put up a statue to the fairies. You're gonna be the model.
Huh?
And we can have a tax. Or, what is it called? Royalties? I don't know. Anyway, we gotta charge people to use fairy tech.
What's with this guy?
I was so confused by him that my head hurt.
A statue?
You don't know? It's a big iron or copper thing.
No, I know that, but what for?
For the amazing things you guys did. Someone's gotta put that out there.
Not really. I don't care. The fairies always try to blend in. I don't want to change that. Besides, you want to be the boss? Isn't this your first day or something?
First day? No, it kinda isn't.
What? I was told I'd be training a new guy.
No. I've been with Verator 2 years now. I'm 17. not new.
You're definitely new. 17. Wasn't he embarrassed that he was getting trained by a 12-year-old? You want to be the boss, huh? How are you going to do that? Take over the organization?
I haven't thought about it yet. I'll figure something out.
You'll figure something out. Doesn't sound like you're really all that motivated. Weißgewiesel. A man of much talk and fleeting wit who dreamed of things he would never accomplish. He was going to be a handful. I was sure that was why the organization had put me in charge of him. Putting him below me would hurt his pride, and that would make him quit. Getting rid of him would be easy, but I hate how they're making me do this. Whatever. If this is what they want, I can play the same game. Alright, I'll help you with your dream.
Really?
Yeah, but listen, I'll make sure you get a decent position in Verator. But whatever I want you to learn, you'll have to figure out yourself. My policy is laissez-faire.
Got it, boss.
Years went by. When I was 17, Verator was abolished. I didn't hear from Vice for a while, but a few months before the rest of the story, we ran into each other. The city's boss... I'd always been sure that Vice's ridiculous pipe dream would remain just that. I'm still surprised he's the boss of his own group now. Knowing that I'm a descendant of the fairies, he invited me to join his group, Rafala. It seems like they're just grateful that my family invented guns, and that I'm part of them. Normally I don't like this kind of party thing, but here I am. It wasn't like we had been especially close. It was 6 years since we met. And I wasn't involved in their specialty, but it was nice to be... revered a little. So sometimes I joined them. Vice didn't know any of that. He was blithely blithering on about something, as usual.
But man, that stupid tower pisses me off. Why can't the heights just explode in a giant ball of fire?
Rafala's specialty was attack on the heights. According to them. They're just going to grumble again. Talk, and doing nothing. And sometimes they blow off a little steam with people from the heights. It's a stupid group. When I looked around, all I saw were young, strong men. But they're all dumber than a box of rocks. They couldn't plan the arson of a barn. At least I get free drinks here. Vice and his Rafala gang were enamored with me. The extent of it was a bit creepy, but not at all in a bad way. I didn't know where they had learned about us. The fairies lived in the shadows. Yeah, most people don't know us. After the flood, Elt's ancestors, the Valentines, had rebuilt the depths together with the fairies. But only the economic efforts of the Valentines were remembered. The fairies hid in their shadows, eventually buried by the passage of history. I don't have anything against Elt, but it does feel a bit unfair. Even my job gathering intel for him was shrouded in shadow. I wasn't much one for machines and preferred reading. I was happy with the path I'd chosen. On the other hand, I hadn't really had a choice.
Hey, so about your bro.
I was brought back to the moment.
Yes?
My bro?
Yeah, the rich banker guy. He's got a girl with him now. I saw you with her, too. Who is she? Girlfriend?
Girlfriend? Cyrus? Of course not. She's not his girlfriend. She's his bodyguard.
Bodyguard? He's being guarded by a girl. Doesn't do much to help with his manliness.
I'd be careful. She's nobility from the Heights and apparently really good with a sword.
Nobility from the Heights. The girl.
Yeah, like, Ulrik, you fool, you big blabbermouth, you. Why'd you have to mention that? You dum-dum.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that. Why she is bodyguard? Ain't he the ruler of Libralitas? Important guy like that shouldn't have some girl from the Heights guarding him. What are the other districts gonna think?
I don't know. I think this is just the kind of thing Alt likes. I don't like where this is going. I had blurted out that information thinking they wouldn't think anything of it. But now unease rippled through me.
You just spent like 10 minutes setting up for us how these guys think that they're doing attacks on the Heights when all they do is just attack people from the Heights down here. And then you're like, oh yeah, the new bodyguard is the nobility from the Heights. Really? Ulrik, you fool.
Vice and all the others in the room had eyes like knives now, like they were eager to draw blood.
Nobility, huh? If we capture her and torture her, she's sure to spill some nice info. Then we can finally attack the Heights. That's our way in!
Bullshit! That's the dumbest plan I've ever heard of. You better not lay a hand on her. Like I said, she's Alt's guard. If you mess up, he'll kill you all.
It's just one girl. Capturing her is simple. Ha 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 ha! We better make a plan, guys!
This is going to be trouble, isn't it? I wondered what Alt would think if he got wind of who had planted this idea in their heads. He was probably going to punch me, I figured. If I was lucky. Then again, if she can't take care of Rafala, she's a failure as a bodyguard. I guess I'll stand back and watch the show.
What? Rude! Ulrik, we are over halfway affection with you in a few days. You can't just leave me to my doom? Man.
Hoping that Vice and the others weren't going to come up with anything resembling a plan, I snuck out.
Because, it wouldn't have been smart to sit around and just listen to them plot for a while so you knew what was going to happen. Right, Ulrik? That would have been dumb. Right, Ulrik?